All right, welcome to day 3 of Skill 1. Let's see what we're doing today. It says watch video and fill out worksheet for a strategy poster. It is pretty short, so I have decided to add some IXL because there is some other stuff in this lesson that we've already done, which is reflecting on the assessment that we took. And so I am going to add, I think 2 IXL strands to the assignment, so please look at that. The other offer I would have for you too is after you finish the strategy poster, if you've been feeling confident and good about this skill and you would like to show some mastery, you may. I do have the assessment ready. So that would be your choice. So let's take a look at strategy poster for module 1. Here we go. So I'm going to offer a problem and I want you to think about how you would solve it. And then we're going to go over 3 different ways to solve it. And that will be it. So this is the problem. It is 3/4 times 13. How would you go about solving that? And I'd like you to think of as many different ways. So I don't want you to get in the habit of just doing one thing each time, because that's not what mathematicians do. We think about stuff. We think about different ways. We think about all the different ways that we can possibly do it. Sometimes we want to make sure we always want to make sure we understand what we're doing and not just getting an answer. So pause it, think about it, and then I'll go over 3 different ways we can think about it. All right, here we go. So one thing we can do is find the unit fraction and then multiply by the numerator. So remember, unit fraction is anything with 1 in the numerator. And we can do that because all fractions are made up of unit fractions. 3/4 is made up of 3 1/4. So we can find 1/4 of 13 and then multiply it by 3, which is the numerator. Well, how do we find 1/4 of 13? I like to do half and half. So half of 13 is 6 1/2, and half of that is 3 1/4. And then we multiply that by 3. And if you're not sure what that might look like, that's 3 times 3 plus 3 times 1/4, or 1/4 of 3. And so we have 9 3/4. This will be the IXL strand. It's doing more work with multiplying mixed numbers and whole numbers together to help you in this process. Let's see another thing that we can do. All right, so the second thing that we could have done is take this whole number 13 and break it into chunks that are easier to think about when it comes to fourths. And so when we think about fourths, we want to think about multiples of 4. So 4 would be simpler to think about. 8, 12. So you could do 8, 4, and 1, or just 12 and 1. That's what I would do, because 13 equals 12 plus 1. So because that equals 12 plus 1, we could take 1/4 times 13 and turn it into 3/4. 3/4 times 13 and turn it into 3/4 times 12 plus 3/4 times 1. So 3/4 of 12, well, 1/4 of 12 is 3, and 3 times that is 9. And then 3/4 times 1 is 3/4. So we add those 2 together to get 9 and 3/4, which is just what we got up there. And let's look at one more way we could have solved this. So the last thing we could have done was figure out how much that many groups of the fraction would be. So that would be looking at 3/4 times 13. We could write 3/4 out 13 times, right? But that would get a tad repetitive. So when we have a lot of repeated addition, what do? We multiply. So we can say 3 times 13 over 4 And then that gives us 39 over 4. Now, this is where we get into a little bit of an issue, because if you don't know how to take 39/4 and turn it into 9 3/4, I'm going to show you, but that's where the other strategies come into play that might make things simpler for you to think about. This might be faster for you to do, right? But just because you can get 39/4 doesn't mean you necessarily know what you are doing. And so 39/4, we think about how many whole ones are in this. So we look at 4. So every 4/4 is one whole. We have 39. So I can pull out 36/4, which is 9. And we have 3/4 left over. So this is going to be very important for you to show mastery, specifically when we get into story problems. If you're not able to go from, you can't say the rug has a square footage of 39/4. No one's going to understand what that means. You're not going to order a rug from somebody and go, hey, can you give me a rug that's 39/4 square feet, please? So you need to be able to do this. So if you can't do this, A, you got to learn how to do it, which would be a good thing, or B, think about it in this way too. IXL, and then another thing, I do want you to log into, I put a link for Fogstone Isle, and I put some practicing multiplying fractions as well. So log into that and make sure you have access. Play around with it for a little bit, and once you finish those two things, if you do, then free time is yours. Bye.